Hello and welcome to a Talking Wednesday preview of the playoffs for the League One season. And it's Sheffield Wednesday against Peterborough in 2 legs. Now, this is a bit different to our usual content. We usually do a long-form podcast, but it's kind of fitting that we come in and we will chat to you about what we think going into the playoffs. Now, we've had a little bit of time to think on it. We know who our opponents will be. Not easy opponents. We thought for a while it was going to be Derby, but it is Peterborough.
Not who I thought it was as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. When we were going into the last podcast, even a lot of us were thinking it's probably going to be Derby. So this has given us a time for a few days to go away, look at all the stats, and gather our thoughts on it and how we feel going into the playoffs. So it's me, Dex, joined by Jake, Puncture41, and Jack, Worko, over there. We are all here today going into the playoffs. I will say, just as a starter, you are seeing this on the day of the first leg. Coverage information. Check the description of this video. The first half is going to be covered. For the first time, we're doing a Talking Wednesday coverage of the whole thing. So you will have somebody from Talking Wednesday covering pretty much the most of the playoffs, if not the entirety of the playoffs. The first half of the first leg, Puncture41, go over there. He will be guiding you through the first leg, watching all of that. First half of the first leg. The second half, we're all going to shift. We're all going to move to this channel that you're watching this on. So Dexterity Box.
It should technically redirect you straight over to it, but if it doesn't, there'll be a link to said live stream in the comment pinned. Yep. So I will just make everyone go over there. So yeah.
So that's the way we'll do it. Also, following us, if you don't use any of those platforms and you're following along and you like to just sort of be away from it and briefly check your phone, Mr. Worko will be across on the Twitter giving you all of our updates all the way through there. Yes, Jack, you are doing that, aren't you? You look perplexed for a second.
Well, I'm going to be in Birmingham, so it's going to be very difficult to do that on my phone.
Well, why are you in Birmingham?
It's a big old Twitch meetup. With loads of streamers and stuff.
Right, you know when we did the whole meeting where we said, have you got any unavailability? Like till the end of the season? Like a couple of weeks ago when we had this conversation.
To be fair, I think when we had that, I think he was already thinking we were going automatics.
Yes. Right, so there's probably not going to be anyone on the Twitter, unless anybody from the fan base who we trust can get in touch with me over the next 24 hours maybe, not even that. When we will see, but we will sort that out. And Jack, are you not watching it, Jack?
Yes, I'm going to be sat with the friend that Jake and I both have called Walsh, who's a big old Luton Town fan, who I know, and who, if you watch that EFL review show, you will know. I'm going to be sat next to him watching it. Who also is a watcher of this podcast now and again.
Right, you can do tweet updates with that. I'm not having that as an excuse. It's 2 45-minute legs. Do your job. I am joking, by the way. I'm not actually
The whip has come out! Anyway.
The second leg will be entirely on Puncture41's channel in terms of that coverage, because we will be at the ground. I will say, right,
the very simple thing is, these two do not have a little one. I do.
You don't even have to justify it, mate, to be honest. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
But I just had a joke in my head and I won't say it. I will not say it. I'm leaving it.
I don't even want to know what you were going to say. Right. So, I will say, usually at these big events, these are the fans, some of the fans that rock up are the fans that don't obviously go that often sometimes. And we do bump into people and it's really cool. People sometimes just stare at me going, do I recognise you from somewhere? If you do happen to pop in, please say hello. We're not, mean. We're not going to be like, oh, what are you talking to us for? We are not those kind of people. We might even have some Talking Wednesday stickers on us. So feel free to say hello. And we might give you a Talking Wednesday sticker if that's what you would like. And if you have watched this preview before so it'll be before the home leg, obviously. So you've got a week and a bit to watch this preview and all of that. There might be more stickers on option. I'll make sure I remember to put them in my pocket.
Well, we'll have a podcast on Monday probably anyway, talking about the game.
Yeah, it'll be
Friday.
Normal Tuesday. So it'll be normal Tuesday publishing. But yeah, So normal schedule for next week, actually, apart from there's more content across both channels. But everything is in partnership with Talking Wednesday because we really wanted to hit these playoffs fully in terms of coverage. So you can hear from all of us at different points about the tie. Let's just go straight into the tie. So first leg, away at Peterborough, Friday night. How are we feeling going into this one, Jake?
So Peterborough's actual home form coming to the end of the season was 15th place. So they're not being brilliant at home. Now, the thing is, they have got a bit of a big key player back in Ronnie Edwards. It's been said that he'll be able to play. It was looking like the defender was not going to be able to be available for that game. Now, the thing is that with Peterborough, they score a lot, but they leak a lot of goals as well. So if we can have a game where we're on our best shooting form, there's a possibility of us actually getting a decent set of goals. They lose 26% at home and win 57%. If you're going for clean sheets, they have 43% clean sheets at home. So they do leak a lot of goals. So there's a good thing. We just got to keep an eye on Clark Harris. If Clark Harris is in that mood he is, he can be dangerous, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I think the thing is, when we played them at the start of the season, what you got to remember, we played them right near the very start, so everything was a bit new, and we went down to 10 men in that game. If James doesn't get sent off in that game, I don't think we lose it. And we were nearly looking like we were going to do it. Yeah. Remember, it's the one where Byers had the massive paddy and people like, well, what's he doing?
Yeah.
Yep. I remember that.
It's hard to think that was the first time in the season where everything went a bit mental in the meltdown on Twitter.
Jack, what are you feeling heading into this? Just initial thoughts.
Just going on as well, the whole they haven't had great home form, etc. Neither did Forest Green Rovers, and I'm not trying to put a big storm cloud over the hopes or anything.
Yeah, good
but
point.
With a compact pitch and everything, we've not been the best in that sort of situation. And again, as every Wednesday fan is, I think we will do well in the playoffs this year. Could be famous last words that I think that actually we have a much bigger chance of winning them compared to last year.
However, it feels dirty when you say it.
I know
It's
awful. I hate it, but I think we can do it this year. I actually do have the hope more than it's the hope that kills you. It's actually hope, you know. But we shouldn't actually just have an arrogance about ourselves going into it. I don't think, because there could be an upset at their place. Basically, don't repeat the 2016-2017 approach of let's just nick a 1-0 like we did at Huddersfield's place, because that came back to bite us. Go for it. Both legs, just go for it. Don't be hesitant. Don't be cautious. And then I think we'll do well.
Jake,
I want us to do what Plymouth had done all season. Play with a chip on our shoulder because we didn't get that automatic. I want us to be that, not arrogant, but that kind of thing of going, no, we got record points and didn't go up. What the
F?
Let's actually go into this with we're better than this. We shouldn't be here. We're going to get to the final and go up kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've got the other side of that. I feel like I would love us to play like that, but I worry that there might be that slight mentality in some of the players that were already in the final, and we can't fall into that trap, right? Because a lot of the players, and they probably don't mean it like this, but they say big 3 games coming up. Now that's a lot of confidence, but to get the third game, you've got to win this first 2, okay, or get the aggregate from the first 2. So. That's the one thing that I'm just like, the players have to have that mentality of nothing is won here yet in these first legs. It's not about saving your legs. It's not about thinking ahead. It's about going hell for leather and getting the result, because they aren't a pushover, Peterborough, right? They've got the 6th and they've crept into 6th on the last day. Yes, there is that. But we know that those teams in 6th are usually quite tricky. They're the ones that come up usually with a swing of the recent found confidence and the buzz of going in, whereas we have got the dissatisfaction of falling out of the automatics and not going up that way. So there is potential for a chip on the shoulder, but we've also got to consider Peterborough even though we've said the considerations in there about the previous fixture, August 16th, they beat us 2-0. They scored 2 goals against us. We did have 10 men. And that was away. So that's the first one coming up. The second leg, however, we beat them 1-0. So
now, the only thing I've got with the away leg,
right?
Peterborough, in their last 6 games, got 5 wins, 1 loss, and 15 points and 10 goal difference.
Mm.
They had a very good away form right near the end.
But I also think our form will counteract that slightly. We're in a good position with that, because let's actually look at the run of Peterborough United's fixtures. So their last 5 fixtures go like this. It's loss, win, loss, draw, win. That is inconsistent form. Okay, and 2-0 they lost away, right? They won away at Accrington Stanley, so they do win on the road a lot more. I'm looking here, just going back through previous fixtures. They beat Barnsley on the road. They beat Accrington on the road. They beat Shrewsbury on the road. They beat Lincoln on the road. They beat Burton on the road. That's just the ones I can see. Morecambe away, they won. They beat Forest Green Rovers. You know, teams you think they should beat. We didn't beat all of these, and that's why we're in the situation we are. They beat Port Vale on the road. They beat Oxford on the road. I'm
trying to think. There's a game they had that was at home in the season, and it was a really shock result because people they shouldn't be losing that one, and it was someone right near the bottom.
Someone right near the bottom at home. Was it Exeter? 3-2. Yeah, November 12th. Yes. Right, yeah.
Yeah, they do. The thing is, they do leak goals at home. If you actually look at goals at home,
well, here's the thing.
They don't clean sheets.
Bolton went there on February 11th and put 5 past them. They beat them 5-0 at Peterborough. So if we go and we ship a load of goals there, that's why I feel we need to go and kill this away leg. We need to go attack it, because our form going into this, obviously, if you look at it on paper, it looks a little bit better because we had that unbeaten run. It's one thing that's going to get said over and over and over again, but we had that. Then we had our dip. Our dip was coming, right? But towards the time of the season where you want to find form, especially going into the playoffs, I would say out of all the playoff teams, if you're looking on stats, Wednesday are the only team that found that confidence and that running you want, because after we lost 3-2,
do what we do every season.
Yeah,
every season at this point we go on this stupid little run, don't we? It's what got us into the playoff spot a couple of times.
Well, we got 4 straight wins after that Burton Albion loss, 3-2 loss. We won 4 games on the trot, including keeping Derby County on the last day out of the playoffs. And if you look at our blip, right? If you look at it after the unbeaten run, right? Because there's a lot of green on this unbeaten run. But if you go here, Bolton 1-1. This is when you think it started. Barnsley 4-2 is where it really started, when Barnsley beat us 4-2. And then the confidence still wasn't up because we had a game 5 days after that with Forest Green Rovers. Then we drew 3 games. Arguably games we should have won. And if we'd have won, obviously, even one of them, we'd have... we'd have gone up.
That Burton game as well.
Yeah.
That Burton game was a bit of a wake-up call.
But Cheltenham 2-2, Lincoln 1-1, Oxford 1-1. Then we beat Accrington Stanley 3-0. That what you are saying there is that we had a blip again. We had a mini blip after that overconfidence of Accrington Stanley 3-0. We lost 3-2 to Burton Albion. If we'd have won that one, we'd have gone up, and that would have been 6 straight wins in our past fixtures. So it's a case of players taking that and not thinking, we have had points-wise a fantastic season, but the playoffs are a lottery, and we have got to treat this like they are the biggest games, and but have the confidence in that we know how we can play when we turn it on. And for the first time in a long time in the playoffs, Sheffield Wednesday need to turn up.
The thing is, unlike last season, Sunderland had that kind of thing going, it's Sheffield, it's big team versus big team kind of thing. What you've had this season, there's a lot of Barnsley manager, Bolton manager, Peterborough manager, the 2 managers who went up have all gone. How unlucky were they? They shouldn't be here. By point total, they shouldn't be here. Now, the thing there is, Darren Moore will be like, yeah, thanks for that, but I'm still he'll go into this going, yeah, we shouldn't be here, but at the end of the day, we are.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think it's more, but I think when we played Sunderland last season, we had the thing where it's two big teams, it could go either way. They will put themselves as the underdog in this game. Now, if we can start the way we start well, and the thing is, if you keep Clark Harris out of games, you probably do all right because he's got 26 goals. The next top goal scorer has 9.
Yeah, so
and also remember
we know who to mark, basically.
Yeah. And also remember last season when we went into the playoff, we had a barely fit Barry Bannon. We have a fit Barry Bannon. We have players coming back. We have Michael Whitway coming back. We've got Windass back. We've got Hunt. We've got James. We've got players coming back who are biting at the teeth. Granted, the Master Zorro, which is Lee Gregory, going to be playing, and he'll be up for it. I think the thing you've got this whole situation where the players in there, like Michael Whitway and Michael Smith, who've been there, done it in the playoffs and know what they're doing, they will have an attitude of, we can do this. Like if Michael Smith is on Smith is on 20 goals, he'll want to get even more.
Yeah.
Because he'll want to end on a big point tally. you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can I just say as well, the biggest thing that we need to remember as well is that it's Darren Ferguson who is excellent at game management. And we've always struggled before against teams that have been very good very good at game management. Burton Albion, prime example, and we lost that 2-0. They played into this whole game management thing, and he's very good at as well. He will give the whole thing of they're the big team, we're the underdog, all that sort of thing. I mean, look at the last time we played against his Peterborough side, when we almost got relegated from the championship. Sorry, I just punched my microphone there accidentally. Yep. Sorry, audio listeners. That the first season back in the championship last time, 2012-2013, same tactics then, and except instead of Clark Harris then, it was Dwight Gale, and he was their key man, their only man. Effectively, it seems a very similar team to the one that we faced in the championship back then, and we just need to keep this eye on game management and not let it rattle us, because every time we've come up against a team this season where they have implemented this, the players have got frustrated. They've started throwing our own game plan out the window. They've started playing the head tennis, got it up in the air, played right into their hands, and they've scored 2 goals, for example, Burton, and that's been it. So we need to not let that game plan get into our heads and play our own game, because that's the way we'll win this one.
I hope, and it's very difficult to say this because I've not really seen it, but we need to be able to have some sort of direct style of play if they do decide to shut up shop.
Yes.
We need a style to be able to directly break through it, and go more direct. Go on.
Windass be the key to this?
Yeah.
Like coming on for like 60 minutes to tire them out after like trying to defend for so long.
Here's the thing, right? When we've lost players like Windass, we lose kind of the option for me, because very much Smith plays with his back and he's holding it up, and we've played Gregory in that role and things like that. What we gain with Windass back is the opportunity, if they're literally defending so tightly and we're struggling to, hold it up and play through the lines, we gain the ability to hoof it over the defence and Windass uses pace and bolt past him. We gain that ability to use the hoof.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be
about James, though? James can do that.
Yeah.
James gets in behind defenders when he goes on the thing. And the thing is, if you have that going forward, and you've seen over the last couple of games, look how forward Iorfa's getting all of a sudden. He's gone back into that marauding defender going through midfield, making things go. But as soon as he's lost it, he's lightning fast back down the other end.
Yeah.
I think Darren Moore knew that maybe we weren't going to get the automatic 2 or 3 games ago, because he saw how good Ipswich and Plymouth were doing.
I think he played in both scenarios, wasn't he?
Yeah. I think he was already getting into the players this mindset of going, look, if we're in playoffs, this is how we're going to have to play. And I'm wondering if he'd had 2 different sets of tactics against 2 teams, because he didn't know it was Derby or Peterborough, and they've just been training each other, different ones, each other day.
Yeah.
Today we're going to do the Derby tactic. Today we're going to do the Peterborough tactic. So they're already in that mindset.
So let's go really nerdy, right? So when they're away, at their home leg, they are pretty much likely to score, if you go off their percentages, the same percentage in either half. So then there's not really a half where they tend to, you see a Wednesday team and you go, oh, we tend to only come alive at a certain part of the game. They're sort of pretty much even on scoring in the first half or the second half. Away, they are slightly more likely to score in the first half, slightly. That's for the away leg. That based off their stats over the season. But it's very balanced. They are a team that seems to, as you said, game manage and be able to play either side of the half, and they don't really base it on a momentum building to something and, start playing later in the match if you go off what their stats are saying there. So it will be difficult in terms of game management there, and that is probably, it's a really good point that actually, Jack. It's something we're really going to have to be careful with. However, they do tend to chip quite a few goals away, so that's the thing. We are more likely to do something at home, because even though their results, we say away, they're fantastic, they do concede away as well. So they do tend to they're probably a little bit more attack minded, but they concede a lot more. So this can be done. This can be done, but it just needs to be done effectively.
We got to be smart. We just got to be smart about it. If we can be smart about it and play that kind of football like we have done this season, where we can allow other teams to sometimes break and get them on the counter or just defend well, because up until the loss, we were actually doing quite a lot of good game management in that unbeaten run, because we weren't playing like how we normally were doing. That unbeaten run, we learned how to game manage. That just one game, it went out the window.
Yeah. What are we feeling for this first leg? What are we feeling score? What I hate making predictions, but
I'll take a 2-0 win.
You take a 2-0 win? I think, yeah. I think we all would. Do you think?
I think it'll be a 2-0 win.
Yeah.
Just because I think we're going to have the likes of Smith and Gregory chomping at the bit. Bannon will want to step up. And you can get a clean sheet away. It helps. Because taking a 1-0 win, it'll make it more nervous when you go to Hillsborough.
Absolutely.
You do 2, it puts it all on them.
I could buy into that. I think we'll have a moment, and I think we'll probably 2-1 it, because I think we'll have a Wednesday moment in that first leg, just to make sure we're all crapping ourselves when it comes back round to Hillsborough. Jack?
I'm in agreement with Jake, but I also will add, I think we need to be as ruthless as possible, and no matter how many goals we have scored, we need to treat it like it's still 0-0. Don't stop trying to score. Don't sit on any score, no matter how low it is, no matter how high it is. Be ruthless. Go for the throat, because
because also
the only
remember,
way to
when
be.
Hillsborough's full, it's quite you've got the weight of expectation behind
it. It can either go really well, or it can be absolutely horrendous.
Yes.
You want them to have that mindset that they're 5-0 up, but net goal wins the game, and it's just constantly on net goal win kind of thing.
Yeah. We want to basically have a lovely day out at the second leg and not have to worry about it. And we have the ability to be able to do that in the first half, but Peterborough they are that team that come in swing. The sixth team is always difficult because they come in swinging and they're like, we've just done it. We've got all that momentum. It's sudden momentum as well. It's like, it's not gradual build up. It's, we've done this now and we're on our swing back up. Let's see if we can knock them down while we've just beat Barnsley 2-0,
Yeah.
And they'll be like, if we could get Barnsley in the final, we've just beat them.
Yeah.
So there's those things to consider really with it. I'm nervous, but I'm also excited. I love seeing Wednesday in big games, but that might change come the
that's the thing. We like having it that it goes till the end of the season, but it would have been so nice to have this all done and dusted and be like, right, we're sorted.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
It's so weird. I've gone into this sudden ultra I'm turning off all remote jovialness about this, and I'm full on in this.
You don't make jokes.
Proper,
when you don't make jokes, it means it's serious.
I'm in this proper blood ruthless mindset, and I think the players need to be the same. Turn off all jovial stuff until at the very least we're confirmed in Wembley. Then have a bit.
No.
But no.
I don't even think it's Wembley.
Oh yeah, just
I think
we can do it at the end of
Wembley.
yeah.
I don't even think you think about Wembley right now.
No, yeah, you don't even think about Wembley. But the thing is, you're saying jovial. We did that when we were in.
Oh, when we beat Brighton.
We over celebrated.
Yeah,
at Brighton away.
We do not over celebrate anything. We go, the job's not done, and then we get. Hopefully, we get to Wembley, and then we see what happens.
Yeah.
And I think Darren Moore, if he sees any players over celebrating, he'll just pull them to one side. The job's not done.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's the exact mindset to go into it with it. So let's just talk a little bit about team selection. So Wednesday's perspective, yes, Gregory is going to be the man in the mask by the looks of it. So he will be available. There was some talk. I don't know if you heard about it, but it seemed to be all over social media about him. Is it a broken nose or
he's broken his cheekbone?
Cheekbone.
He's broken his cheekbone, so he's had to have like a 3D printed mask done by the club. So he'll be Zorro.
How do you think we're lining up, Jack?
I think we've got Windass on, instead of Windass being up front, I think it will be Windass on the wing. But I can see us doing the sort of, I say 5 at the back, but with more of attacking minded wing backs again.
Sort of 3 at the back more than 5.
Sort of 3 and also 5 if needs be, if we concede or whatever, you know. But I think Windass, he might start the Hillsborough leg, but not necessarily the Peterborough leg.
Depending on how well we've done in the first leg. That's the thing. If we go hell for leather in that first leg, you can start to think about maybe not needing as many attacking players in the second leg. I do think this could be cagey though. This could be cagey this first leg. There is always the potential of that. So we've got to keep that in mind, that that's very much a distinct possibility. But who else do you think? How else do you think we're lining it up? Who do you think starts?
I don't think Gregory will start just because of this injury thing, but I think it will be Michael Smith holding, being the sort of targety hold up play at the striker position. But I also think
feed him.
They might put James. Yeah. I think they also might put James in midfield again because he worked very, very well against Lincoln in that sort of position.
He did.
And I think they might put him as like a deep lying sort of playmaker defender sort of role. And then have maybe Jaden Brown on the left back position or something like that. But other than that,
because then
I don't want to make too many predictions.
And you've got defensive minded players there as well, though, don't you? With that, so you don't have to. You don't have to worry as much about when they come back at you. You've actually got players that naturally would be further back there anyway. But I've got the creativity. Jake, who do you think, in terms of that, adding to that, what do you think we line up?
I think he's going to shove Patterson at left back again.
Okay.
I think he's gonna switch him into that, because if he can get those crosses in that he was doing before he got injured to Smith, and Smith buries them on the confidence he's on, I think you've got a call that you could put Patterson there. And Lee Gregory, I think, might start. Because it's not a hamstring. It's not a hamstring. It's not muscle. It's a face injury. He's going to have a mask on. I think Windass will come on off the bench and then he'll probably play fully the second leg.
Yes.
Just so we've got that option. I think he's probably going to go Flint and Iorfa at the back and then probably rotate either Flint and a Whitway. But I would love to see a Whitway and Flint together. The only problem is you do that, you lose Iorfa pace if two go forward. They're not blessed with pace, those two.
So who are we starting? So are we saying that, are we going for a 4 or a 5?
5.
Okay, so if we base it off of 5, Palmer left or right? Right, so Palmer right, yeah?
Palmer right, Patterson left?
I'd go the other way around. I'd say Patterson right back, Palmer the left back.
Okay.
Maybe. Just because Palmer did... because Patterson did a really great job that last game before he got injured when he was playing right back, didn't he? So
to be fair, you can shove Palmer wherever you like.
I would say Palmer's better on the right, though, and you want his creativity, so I would potentially... I will allow you... But I'll allow Patterson going at left back, but I actually think he'll go Palmer right back, Brown left back, and if we're doing three in the middle, he'll play Iorfa, Awekwe, and Flint. That's how I think we'll line up if we're playing the 5.
Yeah.
And then, because I don't know if James will, but James you could replace for either, probably Iorfa there. You could interchange that if he's going to play in that back 3. And then you've got, obviously, your midfield. It's Bannon, obviously. Who's Bannon, Volks? Yeah.
Johnson on one side.
Are we going for... How are we thinking we're going to play the... So we're playing 2 in the middle, yeah? We're not going for the...
Yeah.
So...
I think that's what we've played all season. It would be dumb to just change it all of a sudden.
I know sometimes, we've had like Deli Basharoon when he's run forward in that sort of shadow striker position, but that's more... It's been odd. I think
Deli's a case of he'll come on in like the 80th minute when the back line is knackered. The only problem with bringing Deli on, there's a player there, and I keep saying every time I see him play, there's a player there. He's just not got the age of looking up or realising there's a pass a bit earlier. And that can be coached.
Yeah. Hang on, though. But if you're saying we're playing... So if we're playing 5 at the back, right? We'd be playing with wing-backs, which means Johnson won't go in front of him, would it?
Oh, yeah. Johnson will be on the other side, won't he?
Yeah. So it would it be... Then it would be a 3 in midfield, wouldn't it? And it would be that shadow striker position if we're playing 5.
Yeah.
So would it be Bannon, Volks, and then... Yeah, who goes there?
I'd say Gregory, because I think he's more of the wily, like, he knows how to run the channels kind of thing. So I'd put...
We're doing... By the way, this is not how we'll actually line up, by the way. No. So we're doing speculation.
But if we're going Johnson and Palmer at the back, could you not put Patterson there? Just to be that.
Well, that's what I think he'll do. I think it'll be if it's the 3 in midfield, it will be Patterson playing that more attacking role. Yeah. And then I think you'll play Smith and Windass, and you'll have Windass spinning off Smith. That's how I think if you were to play that, probably the most effective way to play it. Or does he play a 4-3-3?
Yeah, I can see it. You know what'll happen? It'll like, everyone's been caught. It'll just out of nowhere do a 4-4-2 and be like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. He's messed around with it, but not too much this season. So that's probably how I'd line it up if you were desperate to use wing backs.
Yeah.
But I'm not a manager. We'll see what happens. Let's talk about Peterborough. So what have they been lining up like recently?
So Peterborough's last lineup was Norris, Edward, Kent, Taylor's, Clark, Harris, Mason Clark, Puku, Bros, Noble. I'm not pronouncing that because it's Greek. I'll butcher it. And Ward. I cannot see them.
That's an interestingly long name.
I cannot see them for the life of me changing what they did against Barnsley. I just don't see it. That team got them into it.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
And you think the one we've got to look out for. Who's the one with 9 goals? You said that Clark Harris was the one to watch, but...
So Clark Harris has got 26, and Edwards, I believe, is the one who got... Let me have a look. What is it? I think it's Edwards who's got 9 goals.
What position's Edwards?
I believe he's a striker, but I could be wrong. Give me a moment.
No problem.
And also, for the record, the player that Jake didn't want to say was Kiprianu.
Thank you.
Yeah, can you see why I didn't want to say it?
So, actually, Peterborough decide to do stat-offs.
Not Edwards, though.
Oh, come on. Who does this? Literally, I'm going on their Twitter now, and they do stat-offs. So, they've done their keeper, Norris, against Cameron Dawson, just to make him look worse. So, they've got 22 appearances for both, right? 15 punches for Norris, 2 for Dawson. 61 saves, 44 for Dawson. 238 recoveries, 200 for Dawson. 44 touches per game, 42 for Dawson. And then 16 catches. Oh, but Dawson's got 22, so he wins in that stat. And they've highlighted that. I don't think they've mentioned the clean sheets there.
They haven't.
No.
They've purposely left that off.
So it's Mason Clark who got 9, sorry.
And the simple fact as well that he's made less saves, the simple fact that Dawson has made less saves literally means that our team has been playing better than their team has because he's not been needed as much.
Why would you put that on your official Twitter?
So if you go in goal conceded, Peterborough conceded 1.17 goals. Away, Wentworth conceded 0.8.
That's why.
32% better goal conceded.
I know we have to do this because it's the stats and everything, and it's a proper preview, but it's a lottery, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a lottery, but it doesn't have to be if you're coordinated and you're professional. And
there's a 35% of a clean sheet for Peterborough, and there's 52% for Sheffield Wednesday.
That's why they didn't put that in there on the Twitter stat off.
Yeah, because it doesn't look good.
I don't understand why they've done that. I actually don't. But yeah, we've had some tickets returned as of the time of recording this preview, but it's going to be a sellout. It was corporate tickets that got returned, I think, at Peterborough. So they will all be gone, and it will be a complete sellout for the away leg. All the fans there. We have actually I can't remember exactly how many we've got. Is it 2,500 or something we've been given there, or something like around that. Which is not as much as they've given some teams. They've actually allocated us less. So we've just allocated them the exact same when we probably could give them some more, which I love, right?
Pettiness.
Because
great.
Yeah.
It's great, isn't it?
Exactly. And it's going to be loud. But yeah.
Oh, extremely loud.
Yeah, so this has hit the audio feeds. It's going to actually technically count as episode 117 because I don't want to mess the audio feed numbers up because we want to get this out on audio services as well. But anything to add before we sign off on this special preview of the playoffs, Jake?
Just remember there's a second leg. There is no need to go absolutely meltdown.
Yeah, but we still will.
They still will.
We still will, but there's a second leg. The thing is, we got to play. We know what this team can do. And the thing is, as long as we back it, this team, and back Darren, we'll do what we need to do. The only reason we didn't go up is that two teams above us had one hell of a season. And I know the 96 points, that can go away. And much it was great, it's now like a second season now. So let's just go in for the kill and get a win.
Exactly. Jack?
We need a ruthless mindset, like I was saying earlier. We can't treat this as a done deal until we get to until we've done Wembley, and even then, has been said earlier, don't even think about that right now. Think about beating Peterborough. That's it. That's all we need to think about. And as I said as well, just to repeat myself again, whatever score we are on, be it 1-0, be it 5-0, treat it as though we still need to get goals, because that puts it to bed in the first leg, and then it's just an enjoyable second leg, So don't have a ruthless attitude. Don't get to 2-0 up and go, oh, we can sit on this now. No, don't sit on anything, no matter what it is. That's what I really, really am trying to stress. We don't want to see you sit on a 1-0 or a 2-0 or whatever, because again, they could keep coming back at us and keep equalizing. So
yeah,
this is the thing. This is the thing. So that's all I want to say, really, is just keep a ruthless, bloodthirsty attitude almost for these two games and get it done.
I concur with that. Wednesday, go out there. Everything is like it's the final. Every single minute. Be ruthless. Great word for it. And I will add, just a general note, let's all just be decent to each other with it. There's going to be a lot of fans that come out, and there's always the question of like, oh, where have they been? The extra. But let's be honest, our fan base is still massive. People still, I used the word, didn't I? We still have, we're attendance FC, basically, like Sunderland were. We got that nickname last season, didn't we? But we still have these attendances, surplus of 20-odd thousand every single time. Now we're getting an extra 10K, 15K coming, because that is what we can do on these big events. Some people save up and go for the big events. And you know what? I want us to all remember the phrase of this. We're all Wednesday, aren't we? So let's get together.
100%.
And let's just enjoy it and get behind the team. But yeah, that has been it for episode 117, the preview of the playoffs for the Talking Wednesday podcast. We will see you in the next one, actually, very soon. Lots of Talking Wednesday podcasts, but take care, and we will see you in the next episode of Talking Wednesday.
See ya.
See you later.